done any more to the canvas. I've got a few bits ready and I've given my hands a bit of a clean, but okay, so we were at the point where I had ripped into the Oriental Garden piece and trying to just place it. So I've got that now ready. Before I put this on, I'm going to show you how to use this as a stamp. And any of these, particularly these the Stamperia mold ones, they give a really good, because they're so raised, they're really good for sort of mixed media stamping. So literally, just like you would normally do on a stamp, and you can see that. So when I do canvases and I'm stamping on them, I always start with the lightest kind of colour. So although it's not hugely visible, it adds kind of the first layer. So this particular canvas is yellows and pinks. This is scattered straw that I'm using, which I will also be using on the other one. And then I'm going to add a little bit of worn lipstick. I'm not going to bother cleaning it. I'm just going to put this over the top for the first one so the colours mix. And again, it's just, you can use the whole of one of these as a stamp. You can use, like I'm doing, little off-cut bits. You could, I mean, use whatever you like. So it's now giving a little bit of texture, a little bit of more interest. And then this will wipe off. This is what I was sort of saying to you before about still unsure about using water-based products, because I can just clean this off pretty much. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side. I don't need it for this project anymore other than that stamp. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick this to the canvas. Now, I would suggest that you use a mixed media glue, or if you have this is a transparent paste or a heavy body glue gel, something that's quite got quite a sort of substantial thing to it. Indigo Blue do a slap it on that's super thick, I think it's called, extra thick, something like that. It's something like that that's going to get into all those little lumpy bumpy bits that are on the back of this this piece, because that's the bit where you've spread it all over, and then yeah, so that's all filled, so that you get a really good adhesion to your canvas. So I'm just going to clean that off. Okay, so this bit is going to go onto my canvas like so, and I'm going to push that down. Now, just like I did on the jar, I want to kind of, rather than these just looking so, I'm going to do two things. To start with, I'm just going to take some of the more of the cream paste. Now, when I started showing you how to fill the molds at the beginning, I said don't use these little spatulas for filling. That said, they are really good for what I want to do now. So I'm going to use this little one here. And I just want a little bit on the back of my spatula. And I'm going round the edge. Literally, I'm just creating kind of a, I'm going part over it, part onto the canvas. I'm kind of making the canvas sort of the bit of cream paste mold part of the canvas, as opposed to just being on it, just like I was saying on the jar. Takes away kind of the harsh edge, it blends it in more, and I'm not worried that I'm going sort of random, or you know, the more random the better really. It also helps to seal the edge of the the piece. I mean, it may be, you know, you don't necessarily want to. Now you can see I'm getting a little bit of pink on the back of my thing. That's because it's picking up the colour from the wet ink that I didn't dry, the Distress Oxide that is on my canvas. It seems to reactivate it, which is fine. I am not bothered. So go all the way around like this, and then I'm going to do one more step to bring it sort of into the whole piece, to make it feel like it's one piece rather than bits added on. Oh. So I've gone a bit quiet. Focusing here, right? So I've got that so far, but I want almost another kind of edge, which is even. I think I've now got it on my face. It was only a matter of time, really. But hey ho. I got a white moustache now. I do apologise. I'm going to get a tissue and wipe my nose on my face. But if it's not come off, you're just going to have to put up with it. Okay, right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to be using alcohol inks for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of paste and put it onto my craft mat, and I'm going to mix it with some of the alcohol ink. Now, I said earlier when I was talking about what you can mix with it, that these things will make it runny, but I'm not too worried about that, yeah, because actually that's kind of what I want. And the reason I'm doing this is because this will now blend the edge of that, which is white, into the colour which is kind of on the canvas, so it becomes less of a. And the reason being is because I'm going to use alcohol inks over the top of this in a minute, and it will just kind of blend this in more. Okay, now if you've not used alcohol inks or before, you do need to kind of be fairly well ventilated. This is quite strong, and it will only get stronger because I'm going to use some alcohol blending solution in a moment as well. Now this will need to sit and dry, so it's one of those ones that I would probably leave for a good few hours to make sure it's dry before you try adding anything else on the top. So we're going to put this one to one side, and I have one that is already at that stage here. Okay, so I've already put it up the right way. We're good. I have already stuck it on, blended it in, and added the alcohol ink to the cream paste around the edge. Okay, so let's just clean up from where we're at. I'm going to put my alcohol inks there. I am going to clean this. I'm going to put it in a bit of water as well. Clean my... Oh. Clean your board with a dirty piece of tissue. What a good idea. There we go. Okay, so let's move aside everything we don't want. Now I want that. I've got some distress colours here, and although I've said I'm still dubious about distress, I just want to use it to bring some of the colour in to the edge of this, and then I'll show you how we use the alcohol ink. So I've just got my brushes. I'm just going to start with a bit of gathered straw, which kind of goes with the peach. Did I use peach Bellini, which gives that kind of yellow on the very edge of that paste that I've just added. Okay, so I'm just bringing some of that in, and then I will use a bit of that warm lipstick. I'm not going over the central bit because I'm going to use my my alcohol inks on that in a moment. I have to say that the alcohol inks was kind of a bit of a revelation, probably the wrong word, but it was really fun when I realised what I could do with the inks. So I chose these distress inks, and I've got warm lipstick, I've got cracked pistachio, I've got scatter straw, and I've got russet wilderness to go around the edge, purely based on the colours of that original piece of rice paper. Okay, so it's like a case of, this is what I've got, and I tend to go through my my distress sort of colour chart and go, right, what is going to fit with that? And then lastly, russet wilderness is just going to give a little kind of darker edge to my canvas. And once I finish with these, then we'll get the alcohol inks out, and I will show you how to use those on this. Okay. Oh, okay, I've got a bit of it over there, but that I'm not going to worry too much. What I'll do is I'll just even it up and put some elsewhere, make a feature of it rather than hiding it. Right, okay, so put the oxide to the side, get rid of the brushes. So I have peach Bellini, I have shell pink, I have pool, and I have cloudy blue. Those are the ones that, oh, and I have lemonade. Forgot about that one. Those are the ones that I am using, again, purely based on the colour scheme. So it depends on what colour scheme you're using, you use your ink. Now, we're going to use the alcohol ink in two different ways. We're going to use some with blending solution in a moment, with some pipettes, but then we're also going to use the ink application tool. Now, if you have these tools for blending your distress inks, you need to make sure that you are not using the foam. You need the little felt pads for alcohol ink, not the foam. Now you can see I keep mine. You never know when you might want them again. So you place your little foam felt onto the Velcro, and then you just choose your colours. So the blues are for me to mix a green in a moment for the background. So I'm really looking at my peach Bellini, my shell pink, and my lemonade. Now on here, the peach Bellinis come out quite yellow, the shell pinks come out more orange. I didn't actually use the lemonade straight onto it. I use that to delight. But I digress. So you literally just need a few drops. You can just do one colour. You can do different colours. So I'm going to mix my colours. And I might actually add in a bit of lemonade. Let's see how that works. Okay. Now, because you've got this really nice raised area, this is literally just going to go on the top like this. See, and I'm just literally tapping over the top. I'm liking the lemonade. I wish I put that on before. And you can see, because I've mix the colours, I'm not getting a solid colour anywhere. It's getting mixed. And like I say, because this, normally when you have a sponge and you squeeze it down, it goes into the sort of the bits below. Because this is just a felt pad on top and it's hard, it's only going on the top, which is what I absolutely want for this effect. Now I am just going around the edge, because remember I put some of the cream paste around, so I just want to kind of bring the colours together by putting it around there. Okay, now we need to look at how we fill in the background. Now when I did the original, this was the first time I'd ever done this, so it was a bit of a play, and I did end up going just for one colour. But looking at this now, I think I might have a bit more of a play. Why not? Why not? So we're going to put that to one side. I'm getting a little pot in here, and I am going to make quite a dilute solution of a green. Now, to dilute it to get a lot of liquid, then you need the alcohol blending solution. It's alcohol blending solution. Water is not going to cut it because these are alcohol based. So I'm just putting some of the alcohol solution in there, and I'm trying to remember how I made this. Could all go wrong. So I'm going to put a few drops of the cloudy blue in, and I'm going to add in some lemonade, and I think I might have put in some of this as well. I'll mix it with the pipette in a moment, and we'll see what we've come up with as to whether I like it or not. Well, that's not too bad. Quite bright, but I might just add some more of this in. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm using just a plastic pipette, squeezing it, and I'm getting some ink up in. And all I'm going to do is you can see I'm literally just dropping it in the gaps. The more you drop, and then you can get it to run. So this is why I'm saying I might use some different colours to get some different effects this time. And I'm liking that I've diluted it more. So on the more open spec bits, you can see that it's much paler than the one I did before, which I'm quite liking. But when it hits like in the little bits, you get a much more intense colour again, which I quite like, because it kind of outlines, highlights, if you like, the paler flowers. And I just when I realised I could do this, it's just like, wow, it really means that I can get something completely different on the background than I do on the front, on the top of it, which I probably couldn't do with an ink or even a spray, because I wouldn't be able to control it anywhere near as much. So I'm quite liking this. Now what I think I might do is, see, this is trouble, I just go, let's keep going, I'm liking it. Remember, it will run, so wherever you put it, if it's got somewhere it can move, until the alcohol evaporates, it will just run in. Whoops, I'm just going to put a little bit around the edges as well, because you've got these little texture bits where, you know, you put the paste on before. It is quite solventy, so just a warning if, you know, if it's kind of a smell you're not that keen on, because this is all solvent based. Okay, I'm just gonna sort of squeeze it out here as well and merge the colours so that it all comes into one. Right, so I'm just gonna put that back in there for a minute. I've got rather a lot, but I am going to I'm gonna go for just a bit of lemonade, and I'm gonna dilute that down as well, and I might just see how that works, just adding it in as well, because they will react with each other. They'll go in. This is quite nice, but this is just about playing. Oh, what else? In there. So yeah, now you don't necessarily need to fill in all the white bits, you know, it depends how comfortable you are with white bits. Remember, you can get it to move. So I quite like this. Might put a little bit more green because I'm not going to make any more of that up. A bit more green in. Now with this, it is a case of leaving it to evaporate. So the alcohol will evaporate off, leaving you with the, oh, I didn't mean to go in there, not to worry. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my actual applicator and just drop, right, I'm going to, first of all, I'm just going to get rid of some of that onto a felt because it's leaked out a bit. Just a little bit into these little bits here. And these then kind of really get highlighted because you've got a much darker, less dilute colour. So you haven't diluted it either on the felt applicator or on with sort of the blending solution. So you get a much brighter colour. Again, I quite like that. It's different to the way I did that one, but it's working for me. Let's see what else. I might go with a bit of the peach Bellini. Let's go in there. Right. It really is just, you know, a case with this of just playing, you know, dilute it down, use it neat, use it on the board. I feel like I need some brighter up there now. I've got all this bright down here. Let's add a little bit of the bright orange up here just to balance it out a little bit. There, that's looking better. Okay, I am going to stop because otherwise I will just keep going and going and going with it. So it's going to look different to this one. And partly, I am going to go back in. Sorry, I just need a bit more green in there. Partly because, you know, will all be different. But partly because the first one really was, you know, I'd never done this before. And I didn't really know what I could or couldn't do with it. And I was just sort of finding out. Whereas this one, I kind of know what things are going to do, and it's allowed me to be a little bit more sort of creative. Yeah. Now, if I want to add more onto the top level, then what you'll need to do is you need to allow the alcohol to evaporate for it all to dry, and then go back in with your felt applicator in order to sort of add more onto the top layer. So I'm just going to move these to the side. I'm going to bring back in my jar and see if we can get the ribbon around the jar. And then have a look at all the projects that we have done and a quick recap of all our cream pastings. Let's move that there. I'm going to keep that one there. I'm going to use the applicator to wipe that up. If you get alcohol ink drying on here, then just use the alcohol blending solution to clean up. It will wipe it off. It feels better. Right, so I have a piece of tape. Sort of tape. I don't have a piece of tape. I have a piece of ribbon. That's because I was thinking I need a piece of tape. I'm just going to use a little bit of red liner tape just to start the fixing for my ribbon. Now you can see this is dried, so this is dried in the time that's taken me to do the other two projects, so it's not huge. So I'm just going to stick that there, and then I'm going to wrap this round. You could use twine, you know, whatever suits your project really. And I feel like I should have had a bow in the box, but I don't think there was one, so I think not to worry. We'll just put the ribbon round, and I just need a small piece of the red liner just to fix it off at the end. Oh, not that bit because it's got itself in a tangle. Here. So I'm just gonna. This is always the trickier bit because trying to remove the red liner when it's on a piece of fabric or ribbon is always tricky. Could probably have done it better with. Oh no, it's coming off. There we go. And then just put that over to secure it. Just going to check in my box if I did put a, I did put a bow in. Look, very, very long bow. Bow nonetheless. Cut some of that off. Don't need it that long. And then just put that on with a piece of glue gel. And we're going to put it there, I think. And there's my ribbon. And I will use that for paintbrushes probably. I've got some nice new paintbrushes that now are like, I don't want to use, they're too nice. So they should probably go in the jar on my windowsill and just look pretty. So let's have a quick recap because, oh, what is the time? Goodness me, 2 hours. So we have been looking at the Stamperia Mixed Media Art cream paste. We've been looking particularly at the white, but you can get it in gold and silver, and they do a blue. And we went through the things that you can make with it. Let me just see if I can find all my bits and pieces. So we looked at using the molds. This is the Oriental Garden, like I've used there. This is the that's the Oriental Garden as well. Oh, this is the Wings to Fly that I used for the jar. So those are both Stamperia molds. We also looked at a hack to save you a bit of paste using the tissue paper and acrylic glue instead of a second layer on the back. We looked at, oh goodness me, we looked at using our 3D embossing folders as opposed to just the mold, and we looked at how we could, so I'm just going through my box here, I've got so many things, how we can die cut if we just smear it onto our craft mat, let it dry, that you can intricately die cut. And then we went through the kinds of things that you can colour it with. That's just reminded. We also looked at using silicone molds. I tried it on dies, not so successfully. Yeah, so I've coloured it with pixie powders. I've coloured it with mica powders. I've coloured it with alcohol inks and gesso and waxes and acrylic paints. So many different things that you can do with this product. It is just amazing, and still so many ideas I have that are just going round and round in my head. But for today, those are the 3 projects that we have made using lots of different kinds of other products with them. Hopefully you have a bit more of an understanding of what cream paste is, what you can do with it, what the molds are, etc, etc. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comment section after we finish, that I will try to go through and have a look and help you. Pardon? Press the like button. Sorry, I'm sorry. That just really was awful, wasn't it? It's Dean trying to be really subtle, going, press the like button. I'm going, the light? Where about press the like? Please press the like button, not the light button. Otherwise you'll be in darkness. Please press the like button, both on this post and on our page, Hixxy Studio, and also on Hixxycrafts. So yeah, I will do my best to try and answer any questions. But also, if you've used cream paste and there's something that I've done that doesn't seem right, or if there's something that you've done that you think I should know about, then please also let me know. Thank you ever so much for joining me on our very first Facebook Live of the new year. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you.